Good afternoon, everyone. How are you? I hope that you had a nice lunch and you are ready for the class. Okay, before moving into the class, let me ask you a question. Do you love to have pets? I think this question I have already asked to you, isn't it? When we discussed the chapter, The Adventures of Toto. So there you answered me that you all loved to have a pet at your home. And still you have, I'm sure, that like fishes, cat, dog, and lovebirds, many things you may have. Can you imagine a wild animal as a pet? So you may think, which wild animal? Can you think about having a lion as a pet at your home? A tiger as a pet at your home? Is it possible to look after a lion in your home? Is it possible? What do you think? Here I'm going to show you a picture, the main character of the story which we are going to discuss today. Just watch it. Yes, can you imagine somebody is having a bear, a sloth bear as their pet? And can you imagine a person is loving the bear so much and the bear also loving him back? Can you think about such a relationship between a man and a bear? So here you are going to learn a story which has a beautiful bear, a sloth bear and his master, and the love, the bond of love they have. So I request you all to take page number 113. The Bond of Love. You can see here, The Bond of Love. That's the story. Okay. So the story is written by Kenneth Anderson. Okay. So let me read the story. Use the tip of your finger and follow me through the lines. I will begin with Bruno, my wife's pet sloth bear. I got him for her by accident. So I means the poet, the writer himself. So he is telling the story to you. Okay, he says that I'll begin. Means I will begin the story with Bruno. Who is Bruno? My wife's pet sloth bear. Bruno is my wife's pet, a sloth bear. And I got him for her by accident. Okay, actually I got him. Him means the bear accidentally. Okay, and how he got the bear, at last what happened, and these are all the things we are going to learn in this story. 2 years ago, we were passing through the sugarcane fields near Mysore. People were driving away the wild pigs from the fields by shooting at them. Okay, so what he says, and actually the story, he is telling the story, it took place before 2 years. 2 years ago, we, means I, the writer and his friends and everybody were simply passing through the sugarcane field. And they were, where it is, near Mysore. And what they were doing, people were driving away the wild pigs from the fields by shooting at them. So there were a lot of wild pigs. So the people were shooting the wild pigs and they were driving them away. Some were shot and some escaped. And some shot means some of the pigs dead and some pigs escaped. We thought that everything was over when suddenly a black sloth bear came out panting in the hot sun. So when we were shooting all the wild pigs, what happened at last, we thought that now no movements from the sugarcane field, so everything is over. Suddenly who is coming in forward? A sloth bear. Okay. We thought that everything was over and suddenly a black sloth bear came out panting and in a hot sun. Now I will not shoot a sloth bear wantonly. Wantonly means for no good reason, because I am not interested to shoot a bear because there is no reason. Actually, we planned to shoot the wild pigs only, so I was not ready to shoot a bear. And unfortunately for the poor beast, one of my companions did not feel that way about it and promptly shot the bear on the spot. So when the writer saw the bear, he felt sorry for it. Why should I shoot it? Because it's a poor animal, let it go away. But one of my companion shot it at spot. As we watched the fallen animal, we were surprised to see that a black fur on its back moved and left on the prostrate body. Huh? Another surprise is there. As we watched the fallen animal, so when the bullet got inside the bear fell down, died and fell down. Suddenly, we surprised by seeing one vision. What is that vision? As we watched the fallen animal, we were surprised to see that a black fur. Fur means what? The hair, a thick hair of the bear, and a black fur on its back moved left the prostrate body. Prostrate means lying on the ground facing downwards. So when the huge bear fell down, they saw that from behind, from the back side of the bear, a group of huge fur fell down. How it will happen? When a bear dies, all the hair on his back also will fall down into a different direction. Do you think so? No. So something different is there. What it is? Let's see. Then we saw it was a baby bear. It was not fur. It was not the hair of the animal, of that bear, but it was a baby bear. A small baby bear. It had been riding on its mother's back when the sudden shot had killed her. Actually, when the bear died, and there was a baby bear sitting at his back, and it was simply traveling by sitting on the back of the bear. Actually, the mother and the baby were traveling together. At the time they shot and they killed the mother bear. The little creature ran around its prostrate parent, making a pitiful noise. So when the baby saw that his mother died, it was making a very pathetic sound, a sadful sound, and was simply walking around the dead body of his mother. So it's quite natural. We might have seen in YouTube videos, Google pictures and all, especially for monkeys and some other animals, wild animals, when small babies may walk around the dead body of their parents or mother or father. So because they are not able to talk, they are not able to do anything, they are just wild animals, so they were simply making some pathetic sounds and walking around. I ran up to its attempt a capture. So I ran up to it to attempt a capture. Capture means to take a photograph. It scooted into the sugarcane field. So when I reached nearby, close to that baby, suddenly it ran away, escaped into the sugarcane field. Can you imagine a small baby bear? Following it with my companions, I was at last able to grab it by the scruff of its neck while it snapped and tried to scratch me with its long hooked claws. Okay. Then what he says, then I followed it. I was not ready to leave the baby alone. So I followed with my companions and we reached inside the sugarcane field and I got him on his back. And when I got it, it was trying to scratch me with its claws. Then we put it in one of a gunny bags we had brought, and when I got back to Bangalore, I duly presented it to my wife. Okay, then what did they do, And we put it into a gunny bags. Gunny bags we call in Malayalam sack. So we just put it into the gunny bags we had brought, and when I got back to Bangalore, I duly presented it to my wife. So my dear wife, I have a surprise for you, and he gave it as a present. See, can you think what are the gifts given by husbands to their wife? Can you imagine if it is in Kerala, if it is a Kerala wife and a Kerala husband, if the husband is giving a baby bear as a gift, surprisingly, put it into a nice box or something and giving it to their wife. And when they open the bag, what will happen? Sometimes the wife will die, sometimes the bear will die by listening to the screaming of the wife, isn't it? So anyway, he presented a baby bear to his wife when he reached Bangalore. She was delighted, happy to see a small, cute baby bear. She at once put a colored ribbon around its neck. To make it more beautiful, to make it as a pet, she put a color ribbon around its neck. And after discovering the cub was a boy, then they understood it's a boy. Then she christened it Bruno. Christened it means named it Bruno. Okay, they understood it's a boy, so they called it Bruno. So that is the story of Bruno, how the writer got Bruno. Okay, when he went for hunting, or when he was passing through the sugar canes and they were hunting the wild pigs, and accidentally they had to shoot a bear, a sloth bear, and there was a baby bear, and they took him and he gave to his wife as a present. And when they realized it is a boy, they called it Bruno. This is the story of Bruno. Then how was the life of Bruno? Let's see, paragraph 6. Bruno soon took to drinking milk from a bottle. So when he is okay, now he's comfortable with the new place, new life, and he forgot about his mother and he started drinking milk from a bottle. It was but a step further, and within a very few days he started eating and drinking everything else. So for a few days he was not happy, but gradually he started eating and drinking everything. Not any particular thing, but everything. If it is vegetarian, non-vegetarian, whatever it is. And everything is the right word for the ate porridge made from any ingredients, vegetables, fruits, nuts, meat, especially pork, curry, rice, regardless of condiments and chilies. Condiments means spices. And chilies, bread, eggs, chocolate, sweets, pudding, ice cream, etc., etc., etc. Anything, whatever you are giving to the bear, he is happy with that. And he eats everything nicely. What a nice pet. So if you are having a dog or a cat as a pet, or a fish, or a lovebird, whatever it is, you have to give some particular foods to them, isn't it? But if you have a bear as your pet, it's very nice. You give anything what you eat, and he will receive everything happily. 7th one. The bear became very attached to our two Alsatian dogs and all the children of the tenants living in our bungalow. So very nicely they became very close to the Alsatian dogs and all, and he became one of the member of that family. He was left quite free in his younger days and spent his time in playing, running into the kitchen and going to sleep in our beds. So he used to come to our kitchen, he eats with us, he sleeps with us. So he became one of the member of our family, our beloved Bruno. One day, the story is coming to a twist. One day, what happened, an accident befell him. So we were living happily, nicely with the Bruno, but one day, one accident happened. I put down poison, barium carbonate poison, to kill the rats and mice that had got into my library. Actually, there was a lot of rats in my library, so I kept some poison in my library to kill the rats. Bruno entered the library as he often did, and he ate some of the poison. Actually, I put the poison for the rat, but unfortunately, accidentally, Bruno came inside the library as usual, and he ate some poison. What will happen? Will it die? Let's see. Paralysis set in to the extent that he could not stand on his feet. Suddenly, he got paralyzed and he was not able to stand up straight and was falling down. But he dragged himself on his stumps to my wife, who called me. Suddenly, he dragged into his wife, and wife called me, come faster, something happened to our Bruno. Please come. I guessed what had happened, but when I saw the Bruno inside the library, I understood what happened actually. I guessed what had happened. Off I rushed into the car to the vet's residence. Means I went to the veterinary doctor's residence. A case of poison, tame bear, a barium carbonate. What to do? The question is to you. What to do? A case of poisoning, a tame bear, a barium carbonate is a poison. What to do? What will happen? So, can you feel their feelings? Means Bruno was not just a pet for them, just not an animal for them, but it's one of the member of their family, isn't it? They loved them so much, and they were one of the family member. So when something wrong happens to the family member, isn't it? So if something is happening to your pets, then you know. But when they have Bruno as their family member and they are seeing that Bruno is unable to get up and he's unable to talk, unable to open their eyes, so they felt very sad and tensed also. Somehow they took him to the veterinary doctor. Then what will happen next is the story. Okay, that we will discuss only in the next class. So today you want to read the chapter twice and you want to write a small paragraph that how did the author get Bruno. Okay, the activity that you want to do today is write a paragraph, write the title of the chapter and you can write a paragraph. How did the writer get Bruno? Okay, just write it in a paragraph. You don't want to copy the same sentences from the text. You can write in your own English, your own sentence. Okay, this is for activity and you can send it before 3:30 p.m. No need to be, because it's a very simple activity. So please send it before 3:30 p.m. today itself. Okay, so that is the story of Bruno and what will happen that we will discuss in the next class. So thank you. Have a nice day.